Hey, good morning, everybody. Today is Thursday, October 22nd, 2015. My name is Cliff Backus, and this is your pushbuttonstocktrading.com daily video market review. Stocks wilted into the close yesterday, closing at the lows of the day on heavier distribution volume. Distribution, however unconvincing recently, is starting to pile up and become a concern. The Nasdaq again tested resistance in the 4,900 area and failed. Adding to the confusion yesterday, the IBD 50 and the 8585 fared better than the Nasdaq and the S&P 500, falling only 1% and 0.9% respectively on lighter trade than Tuesday's levels. The IBD indices, the 50 and the 8585, are continually updated with the most powerful momentum stocks and give us a good idea of what the market leadership is doing. When the IBD indices underperform, bulls should be more cautious, but unlike recent sessions, the IBD indices outperformed yesterday. As noted earlier, distribution or professional selling is beginning to pile up. The Nasdaq has 5 distribution days, the S&P 500 3, since the follow-through day on October 2nd. Note, I've erroneously been calling the follow-through day September 25th in recent reviews. That was actually the day of the market went into correction. Follow-through came on October 2nd. Market leadership appears to be getting a bit more focused, with apparel, building, real estate investment trust, financials, and software stocks setting the pace. Declining issues bettered advancers by 5-2 yesterday. New lows bettered new highs for the first time since the follow-through day on October 2nd. Large capitalization stocks outperformed small again yesterday and are outperforming on a 10-day moving average basis. Large caps outperforming is a behavior less typical of a bull market. Our market timing model on both the Nasdaq and the S&P 500 remains on a buy signal, indicating that aggressive traders should not be increasing margin to leverage their portfolios. Maintain current margin levels and let your trailing stops take you out of your current positions. More conservative traders can continue to redeploy capital on the long side, keeping stops in place. The O'Neill timing model is indicating a confirmed uptrend in the market. All of our timing models are bullish, but the market remains volatile and prone to whipsaws. That being the case, we're now nearly 3 weeks into the confirmed uptrend. Traders should be cautiously approaching fully invested, keeping your stops in place, and being sure to follow your written rule sets. Okay, let's take a quick look at the Spectrum Analyzer. What we're looking at here is HGSI, High Growth Stock Investors' universe of 8,000 stocks, sorted by a combination of the most powerful stocks and the most powerful industry groups. We've made a group of the top 100 stocks in that sort. Let's plug these stocks into our Spectrum Analyzer and see where the strength in the market is. Yesterday, of the top 100 stocks, 13 were real estate investment trusts, 8 were semiconductor devices, 7 were packaged foods, 6 were property and casualty insurance, and rounding out the top 5 are beverages and home builders, both with 5 stocks in the top 100. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq Composite. Nasdaq yesterday was down 40.85 points, or 0.84%. We closed at 4840. Notice how the Nasdaq closed right at the very bottom of its daily trading range. Again, the Nasdaq tried to break through the 4,900 area and failed. Like I've been saying recently, I do believe that we have more work to do to the downside before we're able to take out that resistance at the 4,900 level. Trading volume was heavier than the prior day, giving us another distribution day. For you followers of William O'Neill, we are on a confirmed uptrend in the market. We have been since October 2nd. Right now, the NASDAQ has 5 distribution days. I've been noting that these distribution days have been somewhat weak recently, but the fact that we've got 5 of them now is a concern. I guess we're starting to see some professional selling in the market. It's worth keeping an eye on. Right now, the NASDAQ is bracketed by support down here in the 4506 area and resistance up here, as we mentioned earlier, in the 4900 range. We are on a buy signal on our market timing model. Buy signal indicates that aggressive traders should not be increasing margin on their portfolios. You should maintain your current margin levels and let your trailing stops take you out of current positions. More conservative traders can continue to redeploy capital on the long side. We should be about fully invested in our portfolios at this point. Let's see what the S&P 500 is up to. The S&P yesterday was down 11.83 points, or 0.58%. We closed at 2018. Like the NASDAQ, the S&P balked at resistance up here in the 2044 area and closed right smack at its low for the day. Trading volume was higher than the prior day, giving us another distribution day. The S&P is on a confirmed uptrend, has been since October 2nd. We have 3 distribution days on the S&P. 3 distribution days by themselves aren't really a concern, but when you combine that with the 5 distribution days on the NASDAQ, distribution's becoming a little bit of a concern here. Not that it's going to change any of our strategies, but it is worth keeping an eye on. Support for the S&P is down here in the 1867 area. We have more minor support up here in the 1993 range. Resistance, as noted earlier, is in the 2044 area. The S&P 500 is on a buy signal. Let's take a look at 3 of our universal watch list stocks that were up on heavy volume yesterday. First is FCB Financial. FCB Financial is a holding company for Florida Community Bank operating via 52 branches in Florida. Note that the stock only trades 172,000 shares a day. That's very, very low average daily volume, and so you need to proceed with caution in this stock. It could be volatile. Right now, FCB is in a second stage base with a pivot point of $39.99. It gets a 72% checklist rating. And we have this trend line, which would be a good place for early entry. Note that yesterday we traded heavier trading volume than any down day in the past 10 trading sessions. That's our definition of a pocket pivot. But the stock balked at this trend line yesterday with that pocket pivot volume. FCB may be worth keeping an eye on, keeping in mind that the stock has very low trading volume. A good buy point for FCB would be a break above that trend line. Next, we have Hawaiian Holdings, which broke out of this third stage base. It was a cup and handle. On fairly solid volume, we've had a lot of accumulation in Hawaiian Holdings. Our pivot point was $29.59, and the stock really took off after breaking out of that base. We're up 29% right now. We have no entry point on this stock. It's just worth taking a look at because it did break out of this base and really take off. We may look for an opportunity to get into Hawaiian Holdings on a pullback to the 50-day moving average or on its next base. And finally, LGI Holdings yesterday also had a very good day. LGI builds entry-level single-family homes in high-growth markets in Texas, Arizona, Florida, and Georgia. The stock recently broke out of this first stage flat base with a pivot point in the $20.10 area. Right now, LGI gets an 88% checklist rating The stock really doesn't have a buy point here. We've had multiple opportunities to get into it since the breakout. Notice how we broke out here on very, very heavy trading volume. Great accumulation in the stock recently. And we got an opportunity for a secondary buy right here when the stock pulled back to the 50-day moving average. Also, we had this trend line which gave us another opportunity for an add-on buy. Right now, there is no buy point in LGI holdings, but it's worth keeping an eye on for the next entry point. Full disclosure, I own LGI in my portfolio. That's about all I have for today. If you want to talk about any of the stocks mentioned today or any of our market strategies, please feel free to give me a call, drop me an email, or make an appointment. Come by the office, see what we're up to. Contact information is on the home page. For daily access to our model portfolios, trade updates, and more up-to-date information on our trading strategies, please take a minute to go to our subscription page and subscribe to Push Button Stock Trading. You can also follow us on Twitter at PushButtonStock. Again, my name is Cliff Backus. That's your daily video market review. Have a safe and profitable day. Keep your stops in place, and I will see you again tomorrow. Please stay tuned for our important disclaimers. All the best. Disclaimers. Push Button Stock Trading Video Market Review is produced and edited by Clifford B. Backus. Mr. Backus is a Senior Vice President of Investments, Technical Analyst, Portfolio Manager, and Partner with the investment firm of Ohannes & Liqueurs, Incorporated. Video Market Review is produced solely for the benefit of our clients, friends, and colleagues. Anything written, stolen, and/or plagiarized in this publication is done without malice. Further, the analysis and opinions expressed in this publication are strictly those of the editor and not of Ohannes & Liqueurs, Incorporated, its affiliates, subsidiaries, or any of the officers or employees of Ohannes & Liqueurs, Inc. On that note, we submit the following. The analysis, calculations, and evaluations presented herein are based on data and assumptions Ohannes & Liqueurs, Incorporated believes to be accurate. Ohannes & Liqueurs, Incorporated makes no representation that such analysis or calculations are accurate or that such valuations represent levels at which actual trades may occur. This report has been prepared from original sources, except where otherwise noted, and data we believe to be reliable. Ohannes & Liqueurs, Inc., its affiliates and subsidiaries, and/or their officers and employees or their families may from time to time acquire, hold, or sell a position in the securities mentioned herein. Moreover, opinions may differ from one entity to the next. If we are used in connection with the purchase or sale of any security discussed in this report, we may act as principal for our own account or as agent for both the buyer and the seller. Push Button Stock Trading is dedicated to the education of friends, clients, and paid subscribers. Push Button Stock Trading is an information service only. The information provided herein is not to be construed as an offer to buy or sell stocks of any kind. Push Button Stock Trading is created to aid subscribers in making informed investment decisions based wholly or in part on technical analysis. It's possible that at this time or some subsequent date, the editors of Push Button Stock Trading may own, buy, or sell the investments presented. All investors should consult a qualified professional before making any investment. The information provided has been obtained from sources deemed to be reliable, but it is not guaranteed as to the accuracy or completeness. The editors of Push Button Stock Trading make every effort to provide timely information to subscribers, but cannot guarantee specific delivery times due to factors beyond our control.